after the. All right, so go ahead and lay on your back and bring your knees into your chest. I'm going to keep an eye on this because I know I have someone joining late. I want to make sure I see them to let them in. But we're going to just lay on those backs. Again, if you want to use your band, it's above your knees. If you want Balas on, you can stick them on right from the start. You're giving yourself that nice little rock from side to side. And then we're going to get right into it because I love to talk to you so much. So stick your feet flat on that mat. You should be able to reach your heels with those fingertips. Press into the mat and just lift up into that high bridge for me. You're going into your first hold here. So belly button plugs in, and then you're going to think about a tuck in that tailbone, and you're just holding for me in that high bridge. Think about bringing the weight into your heels. So as you tuck that tailbone under and pull belly button in, you're going to feel lower abs start to engage. You're in that first hold. While you're here, I want you to think, where are you squeezing? So right from the center of your booty, you'll probably feel that line right underneath into your hammies starting to get warm. In 20 seconds, we're going to turn this into a full range movement, but I just want you to feel everything here, pressing into the mat, wiggling those toes. Last 10 seconds, and then we're going to bring everything down to a hover. You'll lift up and squeeze again. Think about this less as a thrust and more of like a tuck of that tailbone, squeezing from center booty. In 3, full range. In 2, you'll come down to a hover. In 1. So come all the way down to that hover, and then you'll tuck your tailbone, lift all the way up to the top for me. You don't have to rush through this. Remember, this is just your warm up, but I really want you to start to engage center booty here. My friends that were on with me on Tuesday, we got into our hamstrings a little bit. We'll do that again today. But I want you to start by just warming up lower abs and right in the center of that butt. You've got 20 seconds here, and then you're going to stay at the top of that range. We're going to go into some pulses before we put it together. You've got 10 seconds left. So as you bring everything down to a hover, you're going to tuck that tailbone, lift all the way up to the top. Options here, you can continue to press into that mat to give yourself that lift. If you want to reach towards that ceiling, relax those shoulders. You're welcome to do that as well. Stay at the top for me in 3. In 2, you're in your pulses. So just squeeze up an inch and release. Think about the contraction in your glutes, and then you release it. So big squeeze at the top, and then that release. Again, nothing is coming into those shoulders. Everything is really focused on lower body as you release and you squeeze for me. You're going to put those 2 movements together. So I want you to come down to a hover. Give me 3 pulses at the top in 3. In 2, you come down to a hover and then squeeze to get back to the top. That counts as 1. And then you give me 2 more pulses while you're there. So it's going to feel like 3 pulses at the top and then that full range movement. I don't care if your butt touches the mat. I want you to really feel that deliberate squeeze to come all the way back up to the top. Weight stays in your heels. You should be able to wiggle those toes. You don't have to lift those toes, but just make sure weight is in the back of that foot. You've got 10 seconds here. We stay at the top for that abduction. So once you get to the top, in 5 seconds, you're just going to press your knees out and in. In 3, finish your pulses here. In 2, now press your knees out and in for me. So again, weight is in your heels. You're tucked under in that tailbone. You're pressing out an inch, pulling it back in an inch. Press out an inch, pull back in an inch. 3 changes left. You should be starting to fire up. If at any time you need the break, you'll lower down. You'll take that rest, and then you'll join me nice and strong. Big inhale here. Keep breathing. Press out and in. Holding for me at the top in 5, you hold in 4, second hold in 3, in 2. Now everybody freeze, regroup right here, press hands into that mat. We're going to start lifting those legs. So I want you to give yourself that balance to start. You can lift your arms back up when you're ready. Really think about that big inhale. Give me a slight tuck of that tailbone. You're going to bring right leg to tabletop. You're going to set it back down. You're going to bring left leg up to tabletop. Now, I want you to take your time here. It's not a rush. I want you to think about keeping that leg at 90 the entire time. And then once you bring that leg back down, you switch your weight to that opposite side. So you set that foot down, we lift and squeeze. So you're giving yourself a second or 2 at the top as opposed to rushing through that. You've got 15 seconds right here. Continue in that movement where you're just lifting and lowering that foot at that 90-degree angle. 10 seconds right here. Your right foot stays at the top for me in 8. Single leg pulses in 6. Right leg stays up in 4. You've got it in 3. Last 2. Right leg stays lifted. You can keep it at that 90. You can point it towards that ceiling, but I just need you to squeeze through that left cheek for me 8 times. 8, and 7. It's a long series. You don't have a single leg hold. You go right back into your switches in 6, in 5. Keep squeezing. You can do this. 4, squeeze through that left cheek. 3, right leg stays lifted. 2, hold for me on 1, right leg goes back down. Go back to your switches, not just to that left leg yet. You're going to lift that right leg up. You'll place it back down. You'll lift that left leg up. You have pulses and a hold left. That's it. You're out of this series. I want you to stay in it a little bit longer than normal because I want you to really feel where you're squeezing from. Left leg stays lifted in 3. Nice, Kathleen. In 2, left leg stays lifted right here. Go right into your pulses, which means you're driving through that right foot. Yes, and you're lifting right at the top. Option here, if you want to point that toe to the ceiling, nice, maybe you can. You can keep it in that 90 if you're feeling a little bit tight behind those legs. You have 10 seconds right here. 9 and 8. Hold on to it. 7 and 6. Keep squeezing. Don't give up on it. 5 and a hold. 4 and a hold. Both feet are down. You find that high bridge hold in 3. In 2, left leg slowly comes down. I want everyone to lower to a hover. Lift back up. Find that nice bridge hold. But instead of thinking about that thrust, can you tuck your tailbone under for me? Final 20 seconds right here. Everyone's hands can now come up towards that ceiling together. Really try to relax through those shoulders. Put the weight in your heels. Can you lift your toes for this last 10 seconds here? Can you press your knees apart 1 inch? And then I want you to think about that tucking motion. Tuck under, hold right here for 5. You hold for 4. Good. You hold for 3 and 2 on 1. Everybody lowers back down. Knees come into your chest. First rest right here. Really nice job on that first series. Good. As we come out of that bridge series here, I want you to take that big inhale. If you had that band above your knees, you're going to take that band off for me now. And then you're going to go ahead and bring those feet flat on your mat. Now that those glutes are warm, we're going to go into your abs. Hands come behind your head for me. Take a big inhale. We're going into a combo to start. So listen to me for the cueing. You're going to lift up on that 2 count. You're going to reach your arms towards your heels. You're going to pulse up on that 2 count. Slowly bring hands back behind your head, lower down. We lift up on a 2 count, upper abs. You're reaching in that isometric hold. You give me 2 pulses at the top of your range. You don't come back down until those hands are behind your head. You lower all the way down for me. Take your time. 2 counts to come up. Elbows stay nice and wide right here. Actively reach towards your toes. You give me those 2 pulses. All you're doing in those pulses is tucking that tailbone under and finding that tiny reach. Stay in that isometric hold. Hands come back behind your head. You lower down. You have another 25 seconds here. You've got time. You don't have to rush it. You're probably only going to get 3 in. I want you to think, how high can I lift in the crunch? Can I keep my elbows wide? You're then reaching for those heels. You give me those 2 pulses, holding. Bring hands back behind your head, lower down. Less than 15 seconds here. 1 to 2 left. You're going to hold for me at the top. We have ankle taps on deck. You're going to meet me at the top of that range. Finish out your pulses in 4, in 3. Reach all the way towards those heels. You tap left heel. You tap right heel. I want you to reach further than you think that you can, and I want you to take your time. You're staying lifted off of those shoulder blades. You're reaching for those heels. We're now in those obliques. 10 seconds right here. 9 and 8. Good. 7 and 6. Hold on to it. 5 and 4. Keep tapping. 3 and 2. On that last one, you come back to center. Hands come back behind your head, lower down. You float those legs up to tabletop. You reach those hands up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. That was your rest. Reach all the way up. Look between those legs. You alternate in your dead bugs right here. In those dead bugs, I want you to find that length, that extension. Inhale, lower, exhale, back to center. Inhale to lower, exhale, reach back to center for me. Take the big inhale every time that you reach, and then exhale, pull lower abs in. We're going to go back to the beginning, except legs are going to stay at tabletop. Take your time. This movement is not meant to be rushed. I need you to feel your lower abs engaging right here. You hold at the top in 4, nice pacing. 3, good changes around the rooms. 2. On 1, you're gonna lower head, neck, and shoulders, bring those hands back behind your head, leave your legs right where they are. You're gonna exhale, lift up on that 2 count. You're gonna reach towards those heels. You're gonna give me 2 pulses, hands come back behind your head, you lower down. Same thing we just started with, except your feet are now elevated in that tabletop position. Can you press your knees an inch away from you? Amy, you're perfect right where you are, but that's an extra challenge if you do push them away. Nice change, Kara. Everyone's got it. What I want you to think about this movement here is it's slow on purpose. There's a small isometric hold when you're bringing your hands back behind your head. You lower down. Exhale, get to the top of that range. Reach for those heels. You are now giving me those 2 pulses. Hands come behind your head. You lower down for me. You've got 10 seconds left right here. Breathing through it. You have it. You're not going back to a heel tap. You have a slow 2 count bicycle coming up. So that means I want you to twist left elbow to right knee for 2 seconds and then right elbow to left knee for 2 seconds. In 3, hold at the top for me. In 2, hands come back behind your head on 1. You twist 1, 2, switch, hold 1, 2, switch, hold 1, 2, switch, hold 1, 2, switch. Stay slow and controlled. Can you point through that toe? Can you twist 1 inch further? Now, instead of just rolling onto that opposite shoulder, can you lift both shoulder blades up for me? Let's turn it into that normal pace in 3. In 2, single count it out, 20 seconds right here. We twist and twist. Don't feel like you have to throw a temper tantrum. It's not that rushed movement. You're nice and deliberate in that full extension, lowering that leg, but keeping that length right here. You have 10 seconds for me. 10 seconds, you're back to that slow pace. 1 more time. Yes, you can. In 3, in 2, hold 1, 2, switch, hold 1, 2, switch, hold 1, 2, get up there. Yes, you can. You only have to go in that fast pace 1 last time. 5 seconds, you finish it out. 15 seconds, first break. In 3, finish it out. In 2, now just twist for me. Twist right, twist left, twist right. If you cannot twist, pull knees in. Keep knees right to the center. I'm also fine with that. You've only got 10 seconds, friends. You're in that break. Knees into your chest. Your heart rate should have come up a little bit. Can we twist any faster? 5 and 4. Good. 3 and 2, 1. Rest. Knees come into your chest. Yes. Big inhale here. Take that exhale. You're going to rock yourself up. We're coming into that first plank series, and then we're going to get into those hammies and those glutes. Balas can stay on. You don't need any other props. Can you come into that all 4 position first? Drop belly button down, looking up toward that ceiling. Perfect. And then you'll tuck that tailbone under for me. Just take the moment to stretch. And then you'll come back into that neutral spine. You do have 2 changes on your wrists for my friends with those wrists that can't handle it. You'll go right to your forearms. If not, you walk yourself out into that plank. Open your feet up. Go right into your shoulder taps for me. You're tapping on that right and that left side. You want those hips to stay square. You're going to start reaching. Your second change is to reach your right hand forward, place it back down. Left hand forward. This is going to challenge your balance and your stability. If you need to drop to your knees, you will. Stay in your taps for 5, for 4, good, 3, and 2. Hold for me. You reach right arm forward, you set it back. You reach left arm forward, you set it back. Notice hips do not move here. You want to keep them nice and steady. If it's too much, you're going to come to your knees or you're just going to hold your plank for me. You have plank up downs on deck. You're going to be fatigued in your shoulders. I need you to fight for it. In 3, plank up downs. In 2, last change on your wrist. Can you lower down? For 2, lift back up. For 2, I want you to think back to the equinox days of what I made you do in a plank. So this probably feels like nothing. I haven't made you do it in a while, but I kept you there for a really long time at the beginning of almost every class. So I know you have this. When you lower down, can you keep those hips square? Hands replace those elbows as you come back up. You're breathing through it, contracting through that core. Keep your glutes down. Everyone stays on their forearms in 5. Oh, get that last one in. Yes, nice, Kara. 3 and 2. Everyone find your forearm plank and hold. Take a big inhale here. I need you to keep your feet wide for me in this. You're going to reach right arm in front of you. You're going to reach left arm. I know I'm coming for those shoulders right now. Options here. If this is too much, you drop to your knees. You reach right arm forward. It's slow. You reach left arm forward. You're gonna feel a difference if you're reaching versus tapping that floor in front of you. You have 10 seconds here. You're holding 2 changes left. I know you have it. 8 and 7. You do not have to reach as fast as I count. It's 5 seconds here. 4 and 3. Hold center and 2. Hold center and 1 right here. Just freeze. Can you walk your feet out, out, in? All you have is a hold left after this. I know you can do it. Breathe for me. Contract through your abs, squeeze your glutes. 10 seconds and you're in your final hold. You're there. Final 6 and 5. You're there in 4. Final hold in 3. Yes, you can in 2. Here we go, friends. Final hold in this plank. You're going to be in a child's pose in less than 30 seconds. This is how I know you have it. Can everyone lift their glutes up a centimeter? Give me that hint of a lift. Now tuck your butt under, feel center. Oh, get into it. You have 10 seconds. I know you have it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Hold 8, hold 7. It was a long time. 6, child's pose in 5 and 4. Squeeze in her thighs. 3, 2, 1, rest. Oh, that was the first time you guys have given me dirty looks in a while. Really appreciated that. Courtney number 2, you should have seen Courtney number 1 looking like she's drinking Cabernet this morning with her drink in her wine glass. You'll be doing that bridge series on the recording in a second. Everyone's resting. Now's your moment for a sip of water. We're coming into that all 4 position. I am going to put you in on your hands to start, and then we'll come down to your forearms. But my friends who have those wrists that just need a break, you come right down to your forearms from the start. Everyone else gets to fire up those shoulders. If you didn't have Balas on and you want them, now's the time. These are the same 3 changes we started with on Tuesday if you were on with me. Spread fingertips out nice and wide. You're going to start with that right leg for me. Flex through your foot. You're going to give me that donkey kick to start. Knee comes down. You give me that donkey kick to start, and then that knee comes to the hover. So here's what I need you to think about as you try to advance it from Tuesday. Both hands can stay down, or you can bring your left hand onto that left leg and find your balance. You're welcome to reach that left hand nice and long if you'd like to, or you can put that hand right back down on your mat. Only 15 seconds right here. It's 3 big movements so you can fire everything up. I need you to flex through your foot. Keep your heel towards your seat for me and breathe. Exhale, lift, squeeze. Inhale, lower down. Now your back is flat. Your belly button is pulled in. Engage your abs. In 8 seconds, you're going into a clamshell here. I am going to keep you on your hands. If you need to lower to a forearm, you can. In 3, in 2, on 1, you're opening into that clamshell and then you're lowering. So you're keeping everything square. You're used to me opening you up here, but I want you to keep your hips square to that mat. There's no band above those knees on purpose because I really want you to feel that lift and not feel like you're getting caught by the band. If you do the recording, you're always welcome to put the band above your knees. I need you to keep everything square. Exhale, lift, squeeze. Inhale, lower down. Notice our pace is slow right here as we open into that fire hydrant. Your left leg should be firing up. It's stabilizing you. We're putting those 2 moves together, and then you get to come to your forearms. It's only a minute and a half on those wrists. From here, you're going to start putting it together. You give me 1 donkey kick. You give me 1 clamshell. Yes, you can. 1 donkey kick. Lower that knee. Give me 1 clamshell. You should be feeling fire happening. Center booty right down the back of that leg. Now in that outer thigh for me. I need 20 strong seconds right here. You go into a forearm plank between sides. There's no break. We were just chatting. You were listening to me talk before this. So we're just going to go ham here. No breaks. I want you to think about as you're breathing through this, you squeeze center booty, heel stays flexed towards your seat. You bring it back down. You open that leg, feel that nice stretch in your hip. You have 3 seconds and I need you to bring that knee back down. In 2, good. In 1, walk down to your forearms, walk back, right leg, left leg, hold. It's a minute. You're already there. It started. So if you're not there, it'll be less. It'll be 45 seconds for you. But I know that you have this. Nobody is bringing those hands together. You keep those hands parallel to one another. You think about your shoulders right over top of those elbows. You're squeezing inner thighs if you can. If you need to open those feet up to help yourself there, you can. But what I need you to do is find your breath. Take a big inhale. You should have your legs a little bit warmer now. Squeeze inner thighs like I just zipped from your ankle all the way up past those knees. Holding there for me, you're more than halfway through it. You're not coming into a break. You're going to come back onto those wrists. We need to knock out that other side. You know you have 3 changes and then you're on your forearms. Take a big inhale, 15 seconds to go. You can do this. You can take the cat-cow if you need to, but I want you to get right back to your all-4 position in 3, in 2, on 1. Come back into that all-4 position. Hands are gonna come onto that mat. You can make a fist. If you need to be on your forearms, you can. Shift weight into right leg, flex through your left leg and go right into that donkey kick. I'm gonna give you a sip of water after this before we head to our forearms. Here's what I need you to think about. The flex in your foot, yes, beautiful, Kara. Keep your heel towards your seat so I can get your hamstring fired up a little bit here. Center booty is what's squeezing. You think that your foot is leading this, so your foot's in charge right here. It's not. The center of your butt right into your hamstring is what you're using, and then you're pulling your belly button towards your spine. Shoulders stay relaxed. Now, just like that extra challenge you took on the other side, take that right hand. You can press it into your right quad. You can reach it long and strong, but where can you advance this? Where can you challenge yourself? But where can you just squeeze to fire up that seat? You turn this into a clamshell in 4, in 3, good. In 2, hips stay square. Now open that left leg out to the side and then bring it back down. Exhale, lift and squeeze, and then inhale with control. We're not rushing through this. You're taking your time. You're breathing for me. If you're on your forearms and you want to, you can always bring right forearm over and keep left hand lifted if you're not getting that height that you want, or if you're feeling a little bit restricted. 15 seconds right here. Everyone is breathing through this for me. Shoulders are relaxed. I love those pink pants or pink shorts that you have on today too. They're so bright and lovely. Everyone's going to put this together for me. 10 seconds right here. As you lift and open, I know this is a basic movement, but if you squeeze and you find that balance and you engage that core, you should feel this. Put it together in 3, in 2, here we go. You give me 1 donkey kick. You bring that knee back down. You open up out to the side into that clamshell. Now, I want you to think to yourself in that breath work that you had, you inhale as your knees are lowering down, and then you exhale into that outer thigh, or you exhale into that center seat. Now, know that your heel stays flexed. No fish foot, no noodle foot here happening. You only have 15 seconds. You got 1 more forearm plank. We move on from this. So I want you to breathe through it for me. It's another hold. You have 10 seconds. I need you to find that forearm plank hold. You have this. Just lots of booty and abs today. I clearly was inspired by the class I just took as we moved away from some of the things I had planned. 5 seconds here. Forearm planks. You can do this. You get a child's pose after this in 3, in 2, everyone comes down to their forearms. You walk your feet back. Your extra challenge is to glue everything together for me. Where can you squeeze? Can you fatigue yourself right here? Zip everything up from those inner thighs. Think about lifting your glutes up just an inch or so, and then tucking your tailbone under, really thinking about that squeeze. Belly button pulls in towards your spine. Shoulders are relaxed. I love, Kara, how easy you make it look. You're like, I could read a book here. I could get like a suntan. Everyone likes nice and strong. Don't let those knees drop. Nice core. You have this. You are at that halfway point. You can do this. I need 30 strong seconds left from you. Take the big inhale. Nice form. Looks great. Breathe, ladies. Exhale into it. Pull belly button to spine. Here's that final 15 seconds. You get a child's pose. You're there. Hold in 10, in 9. Do not drop. Can you squeeze a little bit tighter here? It's 5 and 4. Final 3, 2, 1. We rest. Full body movement. Open up knees. Think about how basic that was, but you know how to burn yourself out here and advance it. Take a big inhale. Make sure knees are open nice and wide. You are coming to your forearm. We've got 3 changes left each side. I just want you to know where you are in those changes. Clearly, we're hanging on the floor a little bit longer. When you are ready, take a sip of water, and then you're going to bring those forearms down. 3 changes each side. I'm still focused on hamstrings. I want you to extend that right toe back. Lift that right leg up. We're back to that flexed foot for me. You're going to bring your heel into your seat. You're going to give me a full extension and then a bend and press. So you bring that heel into your seat. You give me a full extension, a little bend and extend. So it's a big movement. As you extend, you give me that tiny little squeeze. You should fatigue fairly quickly. This is an advanced group. You know what you're doing here. So I need you to squeeze everything as tight as you can. When your heel comes to your seat, like you're doing that hamstring curl, that full extension, that hint of a bend and press. Now that bend and press is a tiny little bend in that big reach of your heel. You're just setting yourself up for success for the hamstring curl. 15 seconds here. That foot stays extended. We have little pulses on deck in 8. In 7, don't rush it. It's a slow series on purpose. Watch your hips. Don't sink into that left side. In 3, final curl. In 2, full extension hold. Now up an inch and down an inch. Now here is where you're going to differentiate between whether you are reaching that advanced status. Can you just squeeze from your booty? Don't let that heel drive this. Do you know how to bring the squeeze into your butt, into that hamstring? You're barely going to lift up an inch, down an inch. Look right to the edge of that mat for me, or right to those fingertips. And you just squeeze your butt as tight as you can here. 8 seconds. Yes, you can. 7 and 6. We've got it. 5 and 4. We've got a full range movement with some pulses on deck. In 3. In 2, hold for me on 1. You're going to tap those big toes down. You lift up. Good. 2 and 3. Tap toes down. Exhale. Lift. 2, 3. All you have is a hold left on this side. I told you only 3 changes because I want you to think there is a cast on your leg. You cannot bend your knee. Extend through the back of that leg. Make this count. Full range tap, foot stays flexed. You lift it up, you give me those 3 pulses. Just the same cueing as you did in your bridge work as we kicked off class. 10 seconds and a hold. You should be able to fatigue that right booty right here. Left leg is going to be nice and warm. 5 seconds. 4, 3, relax shoulders. And 2, hold at the top for me. Hold at the top. I want the foot flexed on purpose. Can you give me a slight tuck of your tailbone? Can you reach your heel to the wall behind you? Yes, you can. Take 5 more seconds. Drop that toe straight down for me. In 4, in 3, in 2, drop that toe straight down. Left foot meets that right. It's only 30 seconds. It's only 30 seconds. That's why I know you have it. Take a big inhale right here. Exhale. We're going to switch sides. Right knee comes down. We're going to get ready to lift that left foot. You have it in 5, 4, good. 3 and 2, right leg comes down, left foot stays flexed, lift it up. You give me that beautiful hamstring curl and that little bend and press on the top. Left leg is working, but your right foot is down. And for most of you, your right side dominant. So what I need you to think to yourself right here in this movement, as we get to finish everything up, you have less than 10 minutes of work left. We have arms and abs next. Can you breathe through this for me? Can you think to yourself, heel reaches behind you, little bend and press. You bring that heel back to your seat. Full extension again, little bend and press. 15 seconds left right here. You've got that pulse happening next. When you bring that heel in towards your seat, keep it slow and controlled. Don't feel like you have to rush it. Form looks really nice around all the rooms. Really good. You have 5 seconds. Just keep it into your hold in 4, in 3, full extension in 2. Now give me those little pulses up an inch and down an inch. Do not cheat yourself of this pulse. Leg stays long and strong. Look out to your fingertips. Most of you can put that right hand on your quad for a couple seconds just to make sure you have your balance. But I need you to find as much length as you can, and I need you to squeeze from the center of your butt and think, can I get it nice and warm? 5 seconds right here. Combo movement. We tap those toes down. We have 3 pulses at the top in 3, in 2, here we go. Tap toes down, big lift. Good. 2 and 3. Don't let that neck strain. You're not looking up in front of you. You're looking right down at that mat. You don't even need to look at me. You can. I really appreciate it, but I know that you have this movement down. Tap those toes. Exhale, lift. Good. 2 and 3. Don't forget about those belly buttons. I need everything pulled in right here because you have it. You are holding for me at that top. You've got this. You have 10 seconds. I want you to think 3 pulses at the top. You tap those toes down for me. You're there. Everybody, final plank of the day happens in 5 seconds. Final forearm plank. Just make this count for me in 3, Good, in 2, on 1, drop that foot down, hold, right foot meets that left, just freeze, 30 seconds, I won't make you do another plank today, I promise, but I don't want any movement here. I want you to figure out, can you squeeze any tighter? Have you been able to zip everything up? Can you lift that core up just an inch to tuck everything under, relax your shoulders? 15 seconds. Now you do have to walk up to your hands to get into that downward dog. We're standing for that last couple of minutes. So breathe through this for me. 8 and 7. Feet can open up right here. Open up those feet. Walk up to your hands for me. And then everybody go ahead and lift your hips. Find that downward dog. Nice work. Long time to be on the floor right now. Take that big breath. You can start pedaling out those feet. Walk hands in towards those feet. Feet in towards those hands for me. Take that big inhale, rolling yourself all the way up to the top. If you want to take Balas off, you can. Grab your light weights. It's quick in those arms today. We've only got about 5 minutes of work left. Legs should be nice and warm. From here, grab those light weights for me. Take a soft bend in your knees, and then I need you to come right into your goalpost position here. But I also need you to make sure you've got a soft bend. From here, lots of combo movements to get going. You're going to squeeze arms into parallel. You're going to open arms out. You reach right overhead, pull everything back down. We squeeze in to contract abs, open up arms, press overhead for me. It is slow. Everything today is slow. Pretend like there's a beach ball that you're trying to squeeze between those forearms. Then when you open up, you press overhead like you're pulling that rope down. Your abs should be working and contracting every time you breathe. Inhale as you pull it back down. Exhale, contract, squeeze. You have 20 seconds right here. It's these 2 big movements to start it out. Making sure those shoulders are warm. No push-ups today, though, because we were so lovely in those planks. You've got it. 8, 7, squeeze 6, and 5. You have 4. We hold those arms out here in 3. Beautiful. 2, final reach on 1. Now hold for me. Reach those arms all the way out. Option to hold on to those weights, option to hold on to your Balas. You're likely going to have to drop weights at some point, but prove me wrong. I want you to. From here, little bend and press, little bend and press. I need a bend because I want you in your biceps, not your shoulders and your triceps. Your shoulders are going to feel it, but I want you to think about what your bicep is doing here. Bicep, bicep. Really accentuated a T there. You've got 10 seconds, 9 and 8. You stay here as you circle towards me. In 5, little bend and press. 4, good. In 3, in 2, hold on 1, little tiny controlled circles. Notice the soft bend you have in your elbows. Arms are long and strong. They're going to get fatigued from that first change that we had, that combo movement. 8 and 7, beautiful. 6 and 5, reverse it in 4, in 3, reverse in 2. Here's where that reverse comes in. You're squeezing that weight. You have a soft bend in your knees. Yes, you can. 5 and 4. We're going to fully extend those arms. In 3, we hit those triceps. In 2, hold on 1, fully extend. Palms to the back of the room and the front of the room. Palms to the back of the room and the front of the room. It's a shoulder rotation, but now you're squeezing your tricep. Your goal is to have to drop these weights because you're squeezing so beautifully. You can always switch to your Balas or that body weight. 10 and 9, you can do it. 8 and 7, palms stay facing the back of the room for me. In 4, in 3, in 2, on 1, walk them in a couple inches, little pulses up. We're in our triceps and our shoulders. It's mean. You have 3 minutes of work left. That's why we're here. We're just burning it out. You don't finish on that floor. You finish standing with some control for me right here. 5, 4, and 3, bend and press, front of the room to the back of the room. In 2, it's mean, I know, little bend and press. Bend, press, yes you can. Bend and press, bend and press, bend, press, bend, press. Tiny bend and extend right here. You burn it out, you work those arms. Go 10, 9, 8, and 7. You have 6 here. Weights are gonna come together in front of your face. Cobra's on deck. 3, 2, on 1, palms face me. Find that goalpost, squeeze those weights together. Squeeze, squeeze. Forearms do not have to touch, but I need you squeezing for me. 2 changes and you get to take a break in those arms. I know you can do this. I know you're on fire. Your mind's telling you you need a break. You don't. Now add a pulse up and in. Up and in, up and in. You fight, fight, fight. Pulse up and in. Muscles are changing right here. Up and in. Up and in. Yes, you can. 10 seconds, 9 seconds in a hold, 8 seconds in a hold. You get those elbows closer together right now because I know that you can. In 5, in 4, in 3, in 2. Everybody hold. Now bend those knees. I know we all want to rock from side to side. Can you just squeeze? Can you contract through those abs for me? Hold 5 and a rest. 4, 3, 2, arms come all the way down. Oh, I know that felt so good. From here, feet are shoulder width distance. You are gonna come up, you're gonna give me that nice deadlift. You stand up to the top, you give me that lateral raise. I want you to give me one nice strong deadlift, lateral raise to the top, a little active recovery. You give me that deadlift, reaching weights down. You give me that lateral raise. Yes, you can. Reach towards that mat, shoot those hips to the back of the room. We stay in that lateral raise here in 10, 9, 8, and 7. Get one more of those deadlifts in, and 4, 3, beautiful, 2. On that last one up, little pulses to the front of the room, little pulses to the front of the room, front of those shoulders. Yes, coming right down to the end of it, a minute and a half. I'm going until we cut off, just so everyone knows what's happening. Little pulses to the front. Can you walk those arms with those pulses out into that nice wide T for me? Beautiful. Can you hold right here? Can you turn your palms to the back of the room? In 10 seconds, weights come down. You have body weight squats and some jump squats to finish. In 4, and 3, good. And 2, lower those arms down, set those weights to the side. Everyone meets me in those body weight squats. I'm going till we cut off. I will see you next Tuesday, Kathleen. I'll see you on Thursday, my friends, right here. If you can give it to me, it's 8 jump squats if you want them, or you stay in those squats, but it's 8 and 7, good. 6 and 5, you've got 4 and 3, we're right there. 2 and 1, you stand all the way up, arms reach up overhead. We're gonna cut off in a second. Dive hands down to that mat for me, hanging there nice and heavy. Have such a great rest of the day. Slow roll up, friends, and I will see you next